Alright guys, here's how the season looks. Alright, we'll start off with my Atlanta Hawks. Okay, now I know what everybody's gonna say. Why did we trade for Trae Young? We could have kept Luka Doncic. Plan was never to get Luka Doncic. You know, sure, we looked at their talents as equals, but we looked at what this franchise needs, and they need something different, something unique. You know, not just to say that they need to risk, they need to take a chance. So I might make a video about the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow, but today I just want to say that I feel really good about the Atlanta Hawks this season. Whatever that means for you guys, you probably won't understand it, but for me, you know, I don't think it's about draft picks. I don't think most fans would understand. A lot of fans would consider draft picks as the key to success, but I say going against the grain, expectations, and all that. So next I want to talk about the team most likely to have success in this Eastern Conference. You know, like winning the title, beating the Warriors or some other competitor, probably have to be the Warriors. But of course, whoever comes out west, again, would have to face whoever comes out east. And whoever comes out east is looking like the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics have assembled the most versatile lineup in a long time. You know, we have to look to a lot of talented rosters. They have all-stars, you know, and a superstar, and people really play at a high all-star level. Again, like I'm saying with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, those younger guys, and that's what makes them different than the Warriors. But the Warriors are more experienced, and they have superstars, so they have the best chance. But at the same time, you know, it's sort of the Warriors would outpace them. But I would say I like the Celtics' chances. Al Horford is very consistent with what he does. Terry Rozier is an underrated point guard. He could actually be a starter for a lot of playoff teams, as a matter of fact. But coming off the bench, he'll be a great addition for the second unit. Gordon Hayward is another addition. They didn't have him last year, so they can't really say they went without two superstars. They only went without one. And really, when you think about Gordon Hayward, he plays pretty well in the system, so he probably wouldn't really average 20 points unless he surprises us and averages 20-plus points. And if he does, they really are a threat to beat the Warriors. So now I'm going to go on to the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks have a talented group. I got Chris Middleton probably as my favorite player in the group next to Giannis. Those two are really favorites of mine. But Giannis has to probably go for that MVP award. You know, I've been watching that documentary of what the things he's been going through this summer, you know, working out with Kobe. Like, the guy really wants to be the best player, you know, possible. And I'd take him over Anthony Davis, you know, for my MVP. And for terms of, like, talent level, I think Giannis is just faster than Anthony Davis. Like, in terms of foot speed, and more athletic than Anthony Davis. But Anthony Davis has a better jumper at the moment. So depending on what we see in this regular season, that's who the better one is. So we compare the two a lot. It'd be crazy if they were on the same team, though. Wouldn't it be crazy? Okay, might just happen. I don't know. DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis being on the same team was unexpected. Those two, that would be like Will Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in their primes, in a sense. But we get to the Bucks' chances. Mike Budenholzer is going to be a great coach for them. They have the potential to win 60, even more than that, 65 wins. So, yeah, they have a good reason to, you know, win a lot of games, maybe make it to the conference finals. So, we go to the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte. I really think Malik Monk has the potential to be like superstar talent, like Donovan Mitchell, but even like dangerous in the sense that, you know, he can really control the game. You know, from the shooting guard position, that's the position that you can play well at. But Malik Monk could definitely be the best player Charlotte has picked up since Kemba Walker. And if those two can mesh this season. If Malik Monk gets those minutes, breaks out this season, they'll make the playoffs. I'm just saying. You might not expect it from me, but they might have to trade Nicholas Batum. Maybe they can trade Nicholas Batum for Jimmy Butler, which sort of gives me why I was going to wait to make this video. But Jimmy Butler still hasn't been traded, but he will be traded, we know. And it's probably going to be to the Eastern Conference, presumably. And if he does get traded to the Eastern Conference, I say the Hornets need to pick him up. And if they do, they'll be dangerous. But no woulda, coulda, shouldas, you know. There's a lot of hypotheticals that go on, like the Heat. The Heat can pick him up. And we talk about the Heat. They really have nothing to lose. They can literally trade anybody, but apparently the asking price was too high. And I'm thinking, what is too high? I mean, besides giving away, you know, the draft picks and maybe even Bam Adebayo, but there's not really anyone else. I mean, Goran Dragic, I'd probably keep that guy, you know, to play alongside him. But if you had Deion Waiters, you know, I'm not saying get rid of him, but he's very talented. Going through injuries right now, but if any chance to get rid of Whiteside, you know, even though he's extremely talented and you probably should actually keep him in the long run, I'd say you have to pick up Gorgie Jennings' contract, because Jimmy Butler has a potential to be MVP next season. So it's a big season for him. I think he's going to be the MVP, a potential top 5 MVP candidate, Jimmy Butler. So that goes into, you know, again, the Miami chances during Wade's last season. You know, he's going to be coming off the bench. So it is what it is. I'd say they run the roster, whoever they need to give up, you know. They just need to pick up Jimmy Butler, because he's going to be great next season. He's going to do a lot of justice for a team like the Pistons if they pick him up. So we pick up to the Pistons. Blake Griffin is due to have another great season. And he had an incredible, remarkable season last year, just plagued with an injury and injuries. You know, injuries aren't something that players can control, but Blake Griffin, you know, has gone through some, you know, strenuous injuries, like the number. It's up there with Chris Paul. I mean, was it just the Clippers? Like what's going on? But definitely with Andre Drummond, I have a good chance with the Pistons being my playoff top, like 7. Like maybe they're 7 or 8. But they could even be as high as 4th, even if they really do good under Dwayne Casey, because coaching is just as important in the Eastern Conference. It could make all the difference. The Pistons could be the 3rd seed. And I go to that, I can also say for coaching Toronto with Nick Nurse, like Kawhi is a big addition, but they lost the coach of the year. Toronto lost their coach of the year in Dwayne Casey. So the Pistons could swap, you know, different tactics, and I think the only thing that holds the Pistons back, going back to them, is they don't have a star point guard. They kind of, you know, I think they'd be better off maybe trading for Kyle Lowry, because I honestly think they can't really win a lot with Reggie Jackson. He's injury prone, but in a different type of way. I think the way he contributes is not really that well, but he just sort of holds the offense under one system. So maybe Dwayne Casey's going to break all that stuff. Maybe he's going to trade him for Kyle Lowry, which is what I suggest. But again, the Raptors, of course, could even pick up Jimmy Butler. And if you have Jimmy and Kawhi, like, it's going to be like defense times 3. Like a whole all defensive team put together with these 2 people. And they're going to be going back and forth, you know, shooting the basketball. Like, I don't know how they're going to share. I don't know the ego situation of either person. They seem, you know, like they're ready to call their own shots, lead their own team, be the only star on their own team. But eventually, Jimmy Butler needs to know how to play well with his own teammates. So if he ends up playing with another superstar, as in LeBron James or Kawhi or Anthony Davis, you know, he needs to know how to share that rock in a sense, you know, make friends. But he's already played with Derrick Rose, but Derrick Rose, who wasn't really the MVP Derrick Rose, an explosive Derrick Rose. But, you know, with him being in his prime and stuff, Jimmy Butler would probably want to be on a team like the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets don't really have anybody. He goes on the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, if he turns them around, he could be an MVP candidate, like, immediately. Imagine, you know, taking them to the playoffs. You know, Jimmy Butler just seems like he just wants to carry a team, because I say, you know, have this videos about Jimmy Butler, but, you know, he has the balance of power, you know, in his hands. like LeBron James held it in his hands for so long. And with the East not having that sort of that character to lead them, I think Jimmy Butler could be that guy. You know, it could have been Kawhi. But in some cases, you know, with that laugh, you know, and I'm just playing. No, it's a good laugh. I enjoyed it. But the point is this: I'm saying with Jimmy Butler, he has one of those dominating characters like a Michael or a Kobe or even sort of LeBron, but not like the passing ability, you know, the teammate qualities, but just that passion for the game. I honestly think he's going to put it all together this season, which is why he's going to surprise a lot of people that are really against Jimmy Butler, against him, you know, think he's not a winner, because he could probably take a team to the finals, you know, just by himself. I say he might do that next year, because in terms of defense to offense, he could turn a team like, Orlando. He can make the Magic a really good team. Now, they have Jonathan Simmons, another great two-way player. You can use him in the trade. But, you know, Jonathan Simmons, I think he's due for another breakout, you know. He's a very underrated guy. He got draft picks, Mo Bamba. Aaron Gordon was signed to another deal. I mean, they got talent. You know, looking back at it, I think Orlando's a good destination. You know, if you want to carry a bad team. The Knicks, I don't know. The Knicks always have some stigma about them. They always, you know, I don't know. It's a weird fan base. I mean, they've always been thinking highly of themselves, also pitting themselves a lot when they have like a unicorn on their team. They booed the unicorn on draft night. Like, I just knew the guy was going to be special once they booed him, because New York fans always think they're entitled to what they think is the best player. So it's just a horrible mentality. Kind of like the Cavaliers, you know. They always thought they could use LeBron James as sort of being their guy. But LeBron, he can make his own choices. He can choose to go to Miami. He can choose to go to LA. So Cleveland, you know, they're stuck with Kevin Love. They had got him on a contract. So they could also trade him for Jimmy Butler. So Colin Sexton is a very talented guy. I really hope, you know, Cleveland doesn't, you know, try to keep him on the leash, because, again, they're just obsessed with, you know, if they didn't win that championship, who knows what they would be like if LeBron still went to LA. Like, they're that kind of franchise that would riot over this kind of thing. So, I don't like Cleveland as a destination for that very reason, you know, because the fan base. And then that's nothing about the fans. It's just that it's the culture there. The culture's all messed up. It was centered around this one player, and that's how it got messed up. So you look at it, Kyrie's not there. So if Kyrie and Jimmy Butler want to team up, you know, they got to find a conference. They got to find a team. It's probably gonna be the East. It's kind of gonna be. I guess Kyrie sort of confirmed he wasn't going to Boston, but if he does, he'd probably go to either New York, the Knicks or the Nets, or he'd go to maybe even Miami at the moment. Miami looking real good. So keeping that in mind, we have the 76ers. I really like their chances going to the conference finals. Joel Embiid has always been a monster. Ben Simmons is sort of like LeBron, you know, before he discovered that jump shot thing. You know, his first 2 years in the league, he's a lot like LeBron James. It's actually almost a mirror image. I think only difference, Ben Simmons probably needs to get more up to the 20s, like in scoring, and then, yeah, that's about carbon copy of first 2 years of LeBron. So yeah, looking at that, once he gets that jump shot going down, you might have to shoot with the left. I shoot with the left too, but anyway, yeah, a lot of great Eastern Conference teams this year. Indiana, I really like Indiana. Victor Oladipo is another potential MVP candidate. If Jimmy Butler does go there, I think, you know, Victor sharing shots is no problem, really. I think he's not going to change too much. He's going to stay the same. And those two being those 20-point scorers on that team, they're going to be really dangerous for the whole year. He might even stay there in free agency. Jimmy Butler will. So, yeah, definitely Eastern Conference is a conference to definitely check out. And don't let me forget about Washington. They signed Dwight Howard. You know, he's experiencing back problems. But Bradley Beal and Jay Wall, I mean, extremely talented dudes. I mean, you can't really go wrong with them. But it might have been paired around for too long, you know, and it's sort of been stagnant this whole time. So if they really try to reach that next level, like going for that MVP. Both of them, not just Wall. I mean, Beal needs to go for the MVP too, and probably I'd say, yeah, maybe get Jimmy Butler. You know, Jimmy Butler is the key. He's the key here. You need more talent. Even the Rockets want Jimmy Butler. They got a lot of talent over there. I forgot to talk about the Rockets in my last video, but you already know what the Rockets will give with Harden and CP and Carmelo coming there. And you know, maybe have to trade Eric Gordon if you do get Jimmy Butler. But anyway, yeah. Dude, let the games begin, man. I'm ready. I've been ready for like past 4 months, bro. Let the games begin. Alright, guys. Past 3 months, but 3.5. Yeah. I'll see you there. Chicago Bulls. John, how many teams we got in the league? Zach LaVine. If I missed any teams, I'll comment down below because the video's getting too long. Jabari Parker, great additions. Potential 8th seed there. I might even be 4th seed through there in the Eastern Conference. It's anybody's game, but Celtics really got it down lock. I still pick my Hawks to make the playoffs. I'm not gonna lie, but going back to it, yeah, the Bulls are an athletic young team, kind of like our young team. But again, guys, keep on watching basketball. Peace.